Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
The National Assembly, in collaboration with the African Development Studies Center, ADSC, held a 5-day national capacity building workshop on treaties, agreements, and protocols for federal MDAs, with the theme Enhancing Institutional Capacity for Effective Treaty Negotiation, Implementation, and Oversight in Nigeria. Honorable Barrister Rabiu Yusuf, Chairman of the House Committee on Treaties, Protocols, and Agreements in the 10th Assembly, highlighted the importance of strengthening the skills of key government officials in treaty processes.
At this particular moment of our country, we need a situation whereby all the stakeholders involved in external engagement with other countries, particularly state and the federal governments, and mostly MDAs of the at national level, to ensure that they are aware, they know what it takes, they know how it will be, and they know what it takes to ensure the institutionalized democracy and the legal approach as far as ratification, engagement, domestication of treaties. That is why the 10th National Assembly, under the able leadership of the Right Honorable Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, mandated our committee, pursuant to Section 12, Sub 2 of the Constitution, that we should reach out to all necessary stakeholders who are personally stakeholders on this engagement to ensure they know how it takes and they know how to execute it. Basically, that is the reason we are conducting this exercise.
Actually, I think there is no point for me to deliver my remark at this time because I'm very much aware that my remarks have been delivered yesterday in extension. So in other words, I will just say I sincerely appreciate your presence in this program, and I believe it will go far in helping the system, stimulating the system, and work for the Nigerian progress. So I wish you a fruitful discussion and a successful outcome. Thank you very much.
The major challenge, everybody is going silo in the sense that we are not trying to bring ourselves into the same table to ensure that before you bind any entity, be it state, local governments, or federal entity, as far as engagement is concerned with other outside worlds, you need to know there are provisions of the Constitution which you need to comply. Failure to comply with that provision of the Constitution, whatever you do, it will go to a nullity, invalid, and is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. And to the extent of that inconsistency, it is null and void, and of no effect whatsoever. So we're trying to avoid this scenario whereby at national level or at international fora, Nigeria will be embarrassed because the stakeholders, the principal actors, they didn't even know what they are doing. So that is why we decided at this particular moment, it is ripe and necessary to ensure that we engage with unnecessary stakeholders. That is the basic reasons for engaging in these activities. Actually, I recommend their effort to any other entity because if you can see, most of them, they are legal luminaries. They know their audience, they know what they are doing. So I really appreciate they did a very wonderful job. And I sincerely appreciate. That's the main reason that I say I need to be here in Lagos, at least to supervise the happening in Lagos. And I'm impressed. Engagement with outside world, it is two ways. It is going to be either bilateral or multilateral. So with this kind of workshop, or with this kind of discourse, we believe the principal actors will now know what it takes to enter a treaty. And if they comply with what they are taught in this session, if they advise their principal when they go back to their respective MDA on the right way to go, I believe most of the treaties will be legally binding in Nigeria, provided they follow the procedure laid down by the Constitution. The future is bright. And the future, we will ensure in the future that all the treaties, all the agreements, all the international protocols have been observed to the latter, have been protected and enforced as it is enshrined in the Constitution. And with this kind of workshop, we believe we will create a series of avenues whereby we will engage other parties, other necessary stakeholders. We just set the ball rolling, and we will be there, inshallah.
Also sharing insights on the workshop, the clerk of the House Committee on Treaties, Protocols and Agreements discussed the value of the training in improving the understanding and application of international agreements across MDAs. He noted that the engagement served as an eye-opener, equipping participants with tools for more effective negotiation and oversight.
I'm a Nigerian, I'm a citizen of Nigeria, and I want Nigeria to benefit from its interaction with the international community, and it starts from things like this. For us to be able to interact well, we need to know what it entails to engage in the international community. When we are talking about treaties, what does it entail to enter into treaties? How do we do that? How do we negotiate? How do we implement? How do we oversight as a parliament? So it is my duty as a clerk of the committee to advise the chairman and the committee members on how to go on all these issues. And also very instrumental to the organization of this workshop today. Our partners, the facilitators, are very, very excellent. We appreciate them. And it's also a collaborative effort between us and them. And so far, so good. What we have achieved so far has been fantastic. The participants are very, very impressed. I myself am impressed. And I also, there are some things I'm taking home. For instance, now, Nigerians used to think before that our negotiators who negotiate treaties will just go abroad, go on tea party, shopping, but it's not more the case. By what I'm seeing here now, I can see experts, technocrats who know their honors, who take the bull by the horn and do what's supposed to do. That one has been established. Even our facilitators can attest to that as well. Another thing is that the quality of ideas being shown and being given us here is very, very apt to our situation presently, so that we can apply in our situation in Nigeria. And going forward, if this lesson continues, it's going to impact a lot, because the MDs, many of the MDs are here, even state governments, like Kogi State Government is here, the SSG is here, the Attorney General of Plateau State was also here, and also some top directors in the federal MDA, they are here. So it's a high-class, high-level engagement workshop. We are in a political environment, I must tell you that. But we, technocrats, are supposed to be the advisors and movers of policies. So they don't need to bend. They need to stick to the rule. And I also to advise our government, our leaders, that as well as they are making policies, they should also consider the benefits, the interest of the country, not just politics. They should not play politics with it. They should consider the interest of the country first, and also the people. It's an appeal that everybody that has a responsibility to do, either in the public service, or in private sector, in government, do your responsibility as much as you can, in a good faith, in sincerity. Don't put your personal interests above national interests.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my pleasure to be here to make a closing remarks on behalf of His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, 10th National Assembly, Right Honorable Kaji Abbas. He has mandated me to deliver this goodwill closing remarks. We appreciate your time, your dedication, and your efforts in trying to attend this program and attentively pay attention to the discourse and further issue being deliberated here. And it is believed that this message you have learned here, or what you have learned here, will be passed towards your chief executive officers, and at the same time you will guide them in achieving the necessary mandates in deciding issues of treaties, operation of treaties, and what have you. So at this juncture, on behalf of the Right Honourable Speaker, we wish you a safe return to your various destination, and we believe you will pass the message
to all others necessary stakeholders. Thank you very much.
Just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
Hello Nigeria, hello Africa. Yeah, this is Sound Man. Keep watching SOUQ News.
My name is Babalola from Excel LED. Keep watching SOUQ News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to watch, always watch SOUQ News TV.
Hi, I'm Tom Boggaballs, and please keep watching SOUQ News.
Wale Seriki, SLG Lagos Island East, SOUQ News. Keep out watching them and keep a lookout for them. They're up and coming, and we're proudly to be affiliated with them.
You alone where they make me go crazy. This your love in the cool of my brain. You're my medicine, I need you all day. Yo, it's Blackface Nigeria, and you're watching SOUQ News TV. Keep it locked on this dial, don't change it. You know what I say? Blackface Nigeria, love no bad.
Olumorok, Lishabi and the people of Egala, a story of resilience and transformation. Telling the story from afar may not be as beautiful as visiting the historical scene for a more engaging storytelling.
I welcome you to the foot of Olumorok. So climbing the rock is in two ways. Either you go through the panoramic elevator or the stairs, but whichever way you choose to go through, I'm assuring you are going to land at the topmost part of Olumorok safely. So Olumorok is like every other rock you've ever climbed or know about, but it plays an important role in the life of the people of Egba during an intertribal war between the Egba and Old Oyo Empire.
History and culture are the intertwined thread that shape the identity of a people, offering a glimpse into their past struggles, triumphs, and the rich traditions that continue to define their presence.
So from here we can have a glance view of the immediate environment around Olumorok, because Olumorok is centered at the middle of Abeokuta. But when we get to the topmost part on Olumorok, we are going to have the 360 degree of the view, which means the more you go, the more you see. So I want to encourage you to
raise up.
Raise up so that we can get to the topmost part of the rock. So let's move.
History is what we bring to you today. What is the connection between Olumorok, Lishabi, and the Egba people? My name is Grace Komolafe, and this is SOUQ Perspective. Let me take you on an inspiring journey through the history of one of Nigeria's most significant landmarks. Come with me.
I welcome you to the first level on Olumorok.
Thank you.
So this is the first level on the rock. Olumorok is in 3 stages, from the ground floor to the first landing scape. I want to inform you that you have climbed 120 stairs to come this far. Can you give yourself a round of applause for that? And I'm sure you are fit to climb to the topmost part in Olumorok.
I'll try.
That's great to know. So the first level of Olumorok is called Lishabi Garden. Lishabi Garden is named after one of our past warriors called Lishabi Agbungu Akala. Lishabi was one of the warriors that fought for Egba to gain their freedoms from old Oyo Empire. It is a natural garden set aside for people to take relaxation after climbing the first level of the rock. Also at this spot, we have 2 trees that we can talk about. The first one is Dongoyaro tree. This is it here. Dongoyaro tree. English call it neem tree. It botanicizes as Adirata indica. If you get from its leaf and cook cassava and drink, it kills malaria. And if you drink from its stick, it clears bad breath from mouth. Also, its name is derived from an Hausa face, which means tall boy, Doko Yaro. This is a flamboyant tree. Its botanic is Dilonis regia. It produces some lumpo. Look at the branches. If you get from those brown pod, there are some seed inside it. When it dries up, if you tap or shake, give a kind of sound sheke sheke. And that was where the Yoruba derived its name from. That is why we call it pansheke in the Yoruba land. The pods serve as a natural musical rattle for traditional dancers, nursing mother to play with, before the invent of tambourine and some other musical instruments. When we go up on Olumorok, we are going to turn and visit all historical places. There are some shrines and worshippers around Olumorok. They are not harmful. They are here to showcase our cultural and traditional heritage. So I wish you a pleasant trip as we rock.
Olumorok, a striking natural formation rising 137 meters, which is about 450 feet above Abeokuta, Nigeria. It's more than just a tourist attraction. It is a symbol of Egba people's endurance. The story of Olumorok begins in the early 19th century when it was identified by the hunter named Adagba. Though details on how Adagba discovered the rock were limited, it is well documented that the Egba people facing oppression under the Oyo Empire sought refuge here.
This is the cave. This was where the people of Egba took refuge during the war. From that side, there are some dripping water. Some water is to drop from that side. It is tagged the medicinal water of Olumorok. Whenever the water is gushing, traditional believers always come to pick from its drop. And they claim it cures so many ailments in the body. But the water is not flowing now because God determines when the water flows. And this grave, that's the resting place of Chief Sonny. The grave of Chief Sonny. Chief Sonny was the OC of Itoko during his lifetime. Olumorok is founded between two communities. The entry point of Olumorok, where you came in from, is called Ikija, while the backside of Olumorok is called Itoko community. And this is a chieftaincy title in the Yoruba land. That is the chief sitting at the left of the king in palace. as we have the Otunba and Osioba, Osi, two top position to the king. According to the custom and tradition of Yoruba, when a chief died, they bury the chief either at the front of his house, at his bedroom, or at his backyard. He must never be taken to a cemetery. That was why Baba was buried here. And this rostry roof building is the family house of Chief Sonny. The family has an extension. Baba dies on the 23rd of January 1956. 20 years after his death, government took over this place as a tourist site. That was why government decided to fence the family house so that they will not be blocking up the passage of the tourists. So the people of Egba took refuge here during an intertribal wars. The war started in 1830. Then the people of Egba were under old Oyo Empire. They basically want freedoms and where to settle. That was why they consulted the Ifa Oreku for lead. Ifa instructed the Egbas to come and settle there. On their way coming down, they met a man on the road. The name of the man is called Adagba. Adagba was a great hunter farmer. He was the one that discovered Olumo Rock during his hunting process. During those periods, the entire city of Abeokuta was thick forest. Only the powerful ones and the warriors that could come around to do anything and return back home alive. But when the Ifa instructed the Egbas to come, Shodeke, who was one of the founding fathers of Egba land, led the people of Egba down here. And they were here for years. During their stay, they took the natural suspension shape of the rock advantage and built their rooms. The rock is naturally standing. They only took the advantage of the shape and built their room. So the rock served as the roof of the room. 4 of the rooms they built has collapsed, remains only that. Those are the signs of the fallen rooms. That was where they kept wives and children. Men and warriors will surround the rock so that the enemy will not gain access to this place. All these holes we are seeing on the surface of the rock, that was where they do their grindings. Like we use blenders now, Yoruba call it Oluata. So the process of their grindings make the holes deep like this. After the war in 1833, the people of Egba from Ifa Oreku to confirm maybe they should leave this place to go back to where they came from. Ifa told them to keep on dwelling here, that this is where God has put an end to their problems. And that's how they derived the name to the rock, Olufimo. Olufimo means where God put an end to all our tribulations. Ibiti Oluwa fi ogun, wàhálà ti dààmú ayé wa mọ̀ sí Olufimo. But people later shorten it to Olumo to gain a very short word. Another meaning to Olumo, Olu in a Yoruba land means God. That's God Almighty. Mo means mode or molded. The people then believe that God benevolently molded the rock for them so that they can take their refuge on that. Oluwa ló mọ̀ fún wa láti fi ṣe ibi ìsádi kúrò lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tá. God molded the rock for our refuge. So when they came out from the rock, others were asking the Egbas of their whereabouts, and they told them, hid ourselves under the rock. Under the rock or beneath the rock in Yoruba means Abe Okuta. And that was how the name got changed from Egba, and they started referring to them as Omo Abe Okuta. Also, the popular city of Abe Okuta started from here. So if you have been anywhere around the town and you have not visited here, you haven't been to Abe Okuta.
The name Olumo is derived from the Yoruba words. Olu means God, and Mo meaning molded, signifying God-molded rock. This reflects the deep spiritual connection the Egba have with the rock, seeing it as a divine creation that shaped their destiny. Today, the rock remains not only a historical site, but a place of cultural rituals, including annual sacrifices.
Over here, we have the main shrine of Olumo Rock, the main shrine of the rock. The main shrine is a local temple where the people of Egba worship and make sacrifices to the deities of Olumo Rock. Olumo Rock is an historical monument. It's also a symbol of Egba unity, strength, and unfailing protection. Because under the rock, the people of Egba took refuge during an intertribal war. And after the war, the rock has become a deity. That is why Egba people offer sacrifice to Olumo Rock once in a year with a big black cow. During the festival, only 2 people have access to enter the shrine. That is why the shrine is always locked. And the 2 people are the paramount ruler of Egba land, that's Alake of Egba land, and the chief priest. The chief priest is called Abore in the Yoruba land. Other traditional rulers in Abeokuta invited guests, indigenous of Abeokuta, will stay outside to say amen to his prayer. During the festival, the Alake of Egba land will pray for the whole nation. He pray for Egba unity, also the climbers of Olumo Rock, so that they will not fall. No one has ever fallen while climbing the rock. Also at the shrine, traditional believers always come to make their requests in prayers. When the prayer is answered, those that made pledges while praying will come back to redeem their pledge, ensuring appreciation to Almighty God. and to Olumoro that interceded for them. That is why we have those feather, blood, and cloth on the face of the shrine. Those are the sign of pledges people have been returning. And the people refer to the rock as Olumo Abelowo, Abelomo, Abeloro, Asadi Mulu Egba. There are 4 traditional rulers in Abeokuta, Laki of Egbala and the paramount ruler of Egba land, Oshilo of Okiono, Agura of Bagura, and Oluwu of Uwu. Traditional believers always come to make their requests in prayers. Maybe they're looking for words, children, or anything in life. So when the prayer is answered, those are made pledges while praying. We usually come back with their pledges. That's why we have those feather, blood, and stuff on the face of the shrine. Those are the sign of the pledges. And the people refer to the rock as Olumo Abelowo, Abelomo, Abeloro, Asadi Mulu Egba, meaning a deity you can pray through for words, children, and every other good things in life.
You might be wondering about the historical issues between Oyo and the Egba people. How Oyo to exert control over them. The western region of Nigeria, primarily composed of Yoruba descendants, was dominated by the Oyo Empire, a powerful political entity that rose to prominence around the 15th century. By the 18th century, Oyo had become one of the largest and most influential states in West Africa, known for its sophisticated governance, military strength, and expansive trade networks, controlling neighboring kingdoms, including the Egba. The governance of the Oyo Empire was centralized under the Alafi, the king, who was supported by a council of advisors and provincial governors. This structure enabled the empire to maintain stability and enforce laws across its vast territories. At its peak, Oyo thrived economically through agriculture, trade, and craftsmanship, establishing itself as a vibrant economic hub. However, its involvement in the transatlantic slave trade created significant instability in the region, leading the Egba people to seek independence from Oyo's control. Who is Lishabi? No story about the Egba people is complete without mentioning Lishabi, the legendary warrior whose courage and strategic leadership freed the Egba people from the oppressive dominance of the Oyo Empire. Lishabi heroism is etched deeply in the annals of Yoruba history, as he led a rebellion that broke the chance of subjugation and paved the way for Egba autonomy. Lishabi Agbongu Akala, a native of Itoku, Abeokuta, was not just a fearless leader, but also a tactician. In the late 18th century, the Egba were subject to heavy taxation and constant exploitation under Oyo's rule. To resist this, Lishabi secretly mobilized a group of Egba farmers and hunters into a covert warrior society called Egbearu, a vital step in organizing the rebellion. With his deep understanding of the terrain and his influence over his people, Lishabi led a series of coordinated guerrilla attacks against Oyo forces stationed in the Egba region. His strategy was not one of open warfare, but a methodical plan to undermine Oyo's authority. By ambushing Oyo tax collectors and military detachments, Lishabi weakened the empire's grip over the Egba. His leadership unified the Egba people, turning their frustration with Oyo into a force for liberation. Following their eventual victory, the Egba people were freed from the oppressive rule. In 1830, this newfound freedom led to the establishment of Abeokuta, meaning under the rock, a city founded under the protective watch of Olumoro. Olumoro provided both a literal and symbolic refuge as it sheltered their people during their struggle for independence. From this safe haven, the Egba built a thriving community rooted in agriculture, trade, and craftsmanship, becoming a key cultural and economic hub in the region. Today, Lishabi Agbongbu Akala's legacy is celebrated not just as a warrior, but as a symbol of unity and resilience. His actions not only ensured the survival of the Egba people, but also contributed to the rich historical and cultural fabric of Abeokuta and the entire Yoruba as a whole. By the mid-19th century, Abeokuta had attracted European missionaries like Thomas Freeman, whose introduction of Western education and Christianity left a lasting influence on the community.
Inscription about the, just a little write-up. The next spot is where we used to have the mamas. So this was one of the water pots they drank from there. Yoruba call it Kokoamo. And with water storage and preservation, water point here is as cold as water from the refrigerator. But it has been cemented for proper preservation. The Yalorisha, they are here as the custodians of the rock, and people do come to them for spiritual consultation and a whole lot more. So this is a crown tree. Crown tree. Yoruba call it Igia Koko. If a king has to be installed, or they want to make a chieftaincy title in a Yoruba land, they pluck from the leaf a Koko to coronate king. But this very one is mainly used for the paramount ruler of this town, Lake of Egba land. Only for him. And the tree has been growing there for over 250 years. It doesn't grow than this. So it has been. Poster of the Nile study Yalumo, she's 98 years of age. And this is a poster reflecting the old Yalumo. She died at the age of 37 years, over 2 years ago now. They have a deity they worship here, they call it Orisha Igun. Orisha Igun, that's the deity that controls longevity. They believe the more they worship, the longer they live. So they have other deities around. One of such is Orisha. Ojubo Baluaye. Baluaye is the deity that controls chickenpox and measles. Yoruba call it Shopono. So if chickenpox or measles is striking all over, they do consultation from here. So whatever instruction they get, so once they follow it, everything that comes up will disappear to go. So that's Ojubo Baluaye right there. And this Ogun, God of Iron, the famous God of Iron. We have a baobab tree. Baobab tree. B-A-O-B-A-B. In the eastern part of Nigeria, they call it Afonapunwa. In the northern part, they call it Kuka. Here in Southwest, we call it Gioshi. It botanica is Adansonia digitata. The significance of the tree is that traditional believers always come under to pray for protections. Because there's an adage in the Yoruba land that goes those. Wanipo do ikapa, akpa okapa. Meaning there's no way you can wrap your arms around the tree. It is impossible because of its massiveness. That's why traditional believers always come under to pray for protections. So that's the Gyoshi right there. On the floor here we have the faces of the warlord. Those that fought for Egba to gain their liberations. So their memorial sculpture was molded here. And the white share you are seeing there, that's type of money spent in the olden days. Cowrie share, Yoruba call it Oweyo. But now they know it for a fair consultation and traditional decoration. That's the olden days money spent in the olden days. Also they use it for a fair consultation. The ancient route to the peak of Olumo Rock. Before modernization, this is only means of going up the rock. The ancient route is a natural passage used by the warriors to access the rock.
beacon of history, attracting visitors from all over the world who seek to understand the resilience of the Egba people, showcasing various historical pieces, traditional items, and, on the other hand, the establishment and continuous celebration of the Lishabi Festival. In the evolution of the Egba from warriors and hunters to craftsmen, traders, and national leaders, their history illustrates the power of unity and determination. Lumorok continues to tell the story of a people who overcame oppression to build a vibrant, self-sustaining community.
I welcome you to the topmost part in Lumorok. From here you can see almost everywhere in Abeokuta. And the height of the rock is 137 meters above sea level. That's about 449 feet.
This is the rich, unyielding legacy of Olumorok, Lishabi, and the Egba people. A narrative of survival, courage, and transformation. Now you see the connection. You see the missing link. I am Grace Komolafe, and this is SOUQ Perspective on SOUQ News Television.
Afrobeats is a classic overnight success story, except it didn't happen overnight.
I'm happy to be here. One of the key things about the Omniverse is that it's designed to go beyond an event and designed to be fully something that people can engage beyond the summit. The point being that Nigeria has so much to bring to the world in terms of these things, but we will be bringing fresh energy, fresh ideas, a fresh engagement, and we're obviously open to collaboration. But hip-hop, it never dies. What's the difference between Thor and Shango? Thor is approaching $50 billion in revenue. Shango's broke somewhere outside Lagos. That's a lack of imagination on our part, Africa, and they're all Nigerian. So to be seen and to be noticed is very hard if you're not in the place where all the noise is being made.
The story of Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife, often described as the spiritual heart of the Yoruba people, is not just a city, it is the cradle of identity, civilization, and belief for millions across West Africa. Located in present-day Osun State, Ile-Ife is revered in Yoruba tradition as the place where life began and where the gods descended to create the earth. Archaeological findings, however, suggest the city's origins date back to between the 8th and 11th centuries CE, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited urban centers in sub-Saharan Africa. According to Yoruba mythology, Oduduwa is regarded as the progenitor of the Yoruba race and the first ruler of Ile-Ife. All traditions say he founded the kingdom, from which many Yoruba monarchs trace their descent. His legacy symbolizes unity and divine kingship among the Yoruba. Centuries later, under the reign of Obalufon II, believed to have ruled in the 14th century, Ile-Ife experienced a golden era marked by exceptional artistic and technological achievements. This period produced the world-famous Ife bronze and terracotta heads, celebrated for their realism and craftsmanship. Scholars have described these artifacts as evidence of an advanced mythological culture that rivaled any in medieval Europe or Asia. Recent archaeological discoveries at Igbo Olokun near Ile-Ife revealed ancient glass bead production sites, one of the earliest in sub-Saharan Africa. The finds, led by researchers such as Professor Adisa Ogunfolakon and Dr. Babalola Abidemi, confirm that the people of Ife were skilled innovators in trade and material science. Beyond its material legacy, Ile-Ife remains a sacred and living symbol of Yoruba spirituality. Its monarch, the Ooni of Ife, is still regarded as a custodian of tradition and a spiritual bridge between the people and their ancestral heritage. According to Bayo Laoye, a veteran journalist with SOUQ News Television, the story of Ile-Ife is not merely about the past, but about continuity. Ife tells us how knowledge, art, and belief shape the destiny of a people. It is a reminder that civilization in Africa didn't begin with contact from outside. It grew from within. Today, Ile-Ife continues to attract scholars, tourists, and spiritual pilgrims from around the world, all drawn by the enduring mystery of the source. I'm Moyosore Adebi for SOUQ News TV.
My name is Shino Ogbadegeshin. I'm the CEO of Gozi Micro Insurance. Continue to watch SOUQ News.
Adenike Adeyemi, Executive Director of Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
My name is Shepherd Michael Adewale Onofuye. I enjoy you all to always watch SOUQ News TV.
Hey everyone, Majuli Obaje here representing Gigi. Keep watching SOUQ News, okay? Stay updated with SOUQ News.
My name is Aton Kame. I am the head of MSME Banking. Please keep watching SOUQ News and stay glued to SOUQ News.
I recommend that more and more people should watch SOUQ News because they deal with business news.
Hi, my name is Amaka Wokolo. I am the director of the Faith Institute at Faith Foundation. Keep watching SOUQ News.
The Eyo Festival, also known as the Adamu Orisha, is a traditional Yoruba festival unique to Lagos Island in Lagos State, the center of excellence. It is one of the most iconic cultural events in Lagos and serves as both a spiritual ceremony and a public spectacle. Eyo dates back to the 19th century, though original tradition suggests its origin may be older. It began as a rite of passage for the transition of a diseased Oba or High Chief in Lagos. In today's special report, Bayo Olaoye traces the antecedent and the genesis of this renowned cultural event. The first recorded Eyo festival was held in 1854 to commemorate the passing of Oba Akintoye. Over time, it also became a celebration for the installation of a new Oba or to honor prominent Lagosians. The Eyo festival is rooted in Yoruba religion and spiritual practices, specifically those of the Orisha cult. It is particularly associated with the Adamu Orisha, a deity representing ancestors and spiritual guardians. The Eyo festival is essentially a masquerade festival. The masqueraders are called Eyo, and each represents a spirit of the ancestors. These Eyo figures are customized in flowing white robes with large hats and face coverings. They carry opas, known as batons or staff, used to generally discipline those who break festival rules. The Eyo festival can also be described as a spiritual cleansing of the land and people and used to escort the soul of a deceased noble into the afterlife. It invokes blessings and peace for the community, purges the city of evil spirit and misfortunes. The festival is organized by 5 major Eyo groups or Igas, also known as palaces, each with its own color and significance. Eyo Adimu, black, is housed in Iga Adimu. Eyo Laba, which is recognized by its red color, has Iga Idungoron as its palace, while Eyo Oniko, renowned for its yellow color, stays at Iga Oniko. Iga Ologede, with its green color, will reside at Iga Ologede, and Eyo Agere, with its purple color, stays at Iga Agere. The main day of the festival is called Oye Day, which falls on Saturday. Prior to this, there are several rituals leading to the Akoko Day, where announcements are made and various traditional rites are performed. What are the rules, regulations, and etiquettes? During the festival, what are the do's and don'ts? During the festival, certain items and behaviors are prohibited, such as wearing of sandals and shoes, since everyone goes barefoot during this period. Also prohibited is the use of motorcycles and bicycles, while public smoking is not allowed, as well as the wearing of hats and caps. Violators are often corrected gently with the okpa by the Eyo. What about the modern evolution of Eyo Festival as a potential for tourism development? While originally a sacred rite, the Eyo Festival has become a major cultural attraction, prominently showcased during Nigeria's independence celebration in 1960, and in subsequent years, it has been used to honor dignitaries and promote the heritage of Lagos. It does not occur annually, but rather on special occasions, often at the discretion of the Lagos monarch or Bar of Lagos as the custodian of the tradition. The festival combines ritual, theater, music, and community spectacle, and it is often considered a precursor to the modern Nigerian carnival. The Eyo Festival has inspired modern performances and literature in Nigeria and reflects the depth of Yoruba spirituality, the importance of ancestors, and the interplay between tradition and modernity. Olumide Shokoya reporting for SOUQ News TV.
We've got just what you need right here at Femi Wash Media. Call it the Midas Touch and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.
In the heart of West Africa, where the Atlantic Ocean meets vibrant coastlines and cultural richness, lies a country that has long served as a bridge between tradition and modernity. Welcome to the Republic of Senegal. From its diverse languages to distinct cuisines and colorful attire, Senegal mirrors the broader identity of West Africa, a region shaped by history, resilience, and remarkable diversity. But among its neighbors, Senegal stands apart in a unique way. Since gaining independence from France in 1960, it has never experienced a military coup, a rarity in the region and a testament to its stable democratic legacy. Its capital, Dakar, hugs the coastline and is home to nearly a third of the country's population, around 5 million people. Though over 90% of Senegalese identify as Muslim, the nation's first president, Léopold Sédar Senghor, was a Catholic, a poet and philosopher. Senghor played a pivotal role in post-colonial West Africa, founding the Federal Assembly after France's withdrawal. French remains the official language, a legacy of colonization, but it's Wolof, the voice of the streets, that rings loudest in the markets, homes, and music of Senegal. Economically, Senegal thrives on two pillars: peanuts and fish, with nearly 40% of its arable land dedicated to peanut cultivation and its strategic coastal location fueling a robust fishing industry. Agriculture and maritime life shape much of its economy and daily rhythms. Senegal's culinary culture is just as iconic, from Thiebondien, the beloved rice and fish dish, to the zesty yassa of marinated chicken or fish flavor tells a story. And in between meals, locals sip on national drinks made from natural sources like boye, the sweet nectar from the baobab fruit. Wander the streets and you will likely spot sheep and goats roaming freely, not as strays, but as symbols. During the Muslim festival at Tabaski, male sheep are offered as spiritual sacrifices, a deeply rooted tradition tied in faith and family. While football reigns across the continent in Senegal, a traditional form of wrestling called lamb shares the spotlight and sometimes steals it. Considered a national sport, lamb draws crowds of over 70,000 during major bouts, with a mix of athleticism, rituals, and roaring support from devoted fans. But Senegal's legacy runs deeper than sport or tradition. It is home to some of Africa's most symbolic landmarks. The Great Mosque of Touba, the largest in Africa, towers over the faithful. The Africa Renaissance Monument in Dakar stands at 49 meters high, Africa's tallest statue. And on Gorée Island, history echoes through the door of no return, the final passage for enslaved Africans during the transatlantic slave trade. Senegal is proudly home to 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. From Gorée's sorrowful legacy to the rich biodiversity of Djoudj Bird Sanctuary and Niokolo-Koba National Park, from the colonial charm of St. Louis Island to the cultural landscapes of Bassari Country, and from the unique Salom Delta to the ancient stone circles of Senegambia, the land is a living museum. Add to that the dazzling pink lake, whose waters shimmer rose-hued during the dry season, and the Car's revered surfing coastline, and it becomes clear. Senegal is a country of rhythm, resilience, and unmatched beauty. This is Senegal, the doorway to West Africa, where culture, history, and spirit converge to welcome the world. Chike Okolo, SOUQ News TV.
The Global Leadership Conclave Lagos has brought together policymakers, business leaders, development experts, and young innovators under one roof, all united by a common vision, transforming leadership ideals into practical action for sustainable development. Organized by the Global Lives Transformers Network in partnership with the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, the event is themed Redefining Leadership for a Sustainable Future.
Global Leadership Conclave is all about bringing leaders of diverse sector and field to come together to discuss on leadership in the age of disruption, innovation, resilience, and sustainability. Here we'll come together to discuss on the ever-disruptive world that we're in now, and how leaders can stay resilient, can be innovative, and then build sustainably.
Speakers at the forum include Sir Victor Walsh, Mr. Tunji Ido, Dr. Patrick Uduma, Engineer Tony Obuigwe, and others. They emphasize the urgent need for transformational leadership that bridges the gap between policy, ethics, and enterprise, particularly in developing economies like Nigeria. Discussions also centered on equipping the next generation of leaders with global competencies, integrity-driven values, and digital age problem-solving skills to drive inclusive economic growth.
Leadership is a topic that is very important for us as a nation, and something that is very rare. The right type of leadership is not very common in our climate, and it's the wrong one that often hogs the limelight. So it's important that we're able to point to other models, other examples that have stood the test of time and that have helped other nations to get to where they are, and the kind of leadership we had before things went down in our nation, so that people, the young ones, can see alternatives, and then they can be reset and redirected on the right path.
My presence here is to contribute to the conversation on leadership, starting with self-leadership. How can young people drive change in the society and in our environment? How can we influence positively the polity that we find ourselves? We are heading towards elections, in another 1 year. How can we make a significant impact in that system, in that process?
The conclave, holding at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs Auditorium, Kofo Abayomi Street, Victoria Island, features panel sessions, keynote addresses, and networking segments designed to strengthen collaboration between government institutions, private sector players, and civil society actors.
Yes, I think that these youth have the most amazing age, because not only have they found mentorship, they've also found role models, because I say that the quality of your mind determines the quality of your life. And the quality of information that they have can revolutionize their life, their family, and the entire nation.
Participants said the platform reflects a growing recognition and that effective leadership is the foundation of national progress and international competitiveness. Oyinpriye Krumale, SOUQ News Television.
Hello, Lagos. Make we yarn.
Hello, if this POS matter, don't pass your call. Listen, go swipe, alert no enter. Before you know it, jump.
Wait, wetin really happen?
Maybe you fake alert the warriors.
Okay, so wanna listen, If you dey do POS business, no expose your alert.
They don't walk that road where they warrior for our local government for years.
This one sweet me, I no lie you. Because you know what? Development where they work, it deserve loudspeaker. Now why we dey here be that? For here, we know the abuse, we dey bring solution. My name, it is Ikechukwu Oyemike, aka Ogwefi Ishegwari.
Make we yarn every weekday from 10 a.m. go reach 12 o'clock on Top the Eye 95.9 FM.
Nigeria, rich in traditional and cultural heritage, is intentional about promoting history and retaining cultural values. The country has succeeded in preserving its identities and that of the forefathers for ages through folklores, folk tales, traditional ceremonies, community-based initiatives, cuisine, and most notably, museums and cultural centers. These institutions serve as invaluable repositories of history, ensuring that future generations remain connected to their roots and appreciate the diverse cultural tapestry of the nation. In Nigeria, there are over 38 museums comprising national, state, and privately owned institutions scattered across the country. Each of these museums plays a crucial role in safeguarding Nigeria's vast historical wealth, with collections that reflect the uniqueness of different ethnic groups, traditional practices, and historical transitions over time. In Lagos, the National Museum, located at the center of the city in Onikon, claims a notable collection of Nigerian art, including pieces of statuary, carvings, archaeological, and ethnographical exhibits, among others. Of particular significance is the terracotta human head, known as Jema head, dated between 900 and 200 BC, which is part of the renowned Nok culture. The piece is named after Jema, the village where it was discovered. The museum is administered by the National Commission for Museums and Monuments and remain a key educational and historical attractions for visitors. Another prominent artifact housed within the museum is the famous Benin bronze head, an evidence to the artistic excellence of the Benin Kingdom.
The museum has a lot of functions, some of which are to educate, to entertain, research, interpretation, conservation and preservation of our cultural heritage. And then the museum was established, Lagos Museum particularly, was established in 1957. It was formerly referred to as Department of Antiquities. So, well, the journey so far has been interesting because, we are here, to showcase our cultural heritage, not just to the country, but to the world. And we've had, we have series of, events that we do, that involve the community. And because of that, we create that awareness that this is where you can come and, see and feel your cultural heritage, your traditions, your history. Because it is said that a people without a history is a people without identity. So the museum portrays this to the people. And over the years,